je m'en remette, hein. Oh, le lore dump. L'enchaînement de 1h30 était révolutionnaire, là. Et bah... T'en penses quoi de Furina maintenant que tu la connais, elle? Alors, je continue de penser que le rôle qu'elle joue est absolument insupportable. Insupportable. Et il a été du début à la fin. Mais si il est insupportable, c'est qu'elle l'a bien fait. Voilà. Le rôle qu'elle joue, j'ai juste envie de la baffer à chaque fois qu'elle ouvre la bouche, quoi. Qu'elle prend la parole. Après, elle devait le faire, ok. Du coup, le perso à l'intérieur, tout mon respect. C'est beau, en plus, c'est un thème que j'aime beaucoup, parce que c'est vraiment le thème de changer... Non. Non, tais-toi. Laisse-moi parler. C'est vraiment le thème de la société qui te fait changer l'image que tu dois avoir pour plaire au public. Et tu deviens quelqu'un que tu n'es pas jusqu'au moment où tu te perds dedans et tout. Et genre, alors je dis pas que le streaming c'est comme ça aussi, mais c'est un thème que j'aime beaucoup. Parce que tu peux te perdre là-dedans à jouer un rôle devant des gens et tout. Et du coup rentrer une fois que t'es vraiment tout seul, être en mode ça se voit que j'étais pas moi-même, j'en faisais trop, non. Le message est incroyable. Vraiment le thème, tout ce qui tourne autour de Furina et tout, c'est trop bien fait. C'est vraiment trop bien fait. Après, je continue de dire que son rôle était insupportable. Là, je vais pas vous dire, en fait, non, c'était trop mignon ce qu'elle disait et tout. Non, j'avais envie de la baffer du début à la fin. Mais parce qu'elle jouait bien son rôle. Elle jouait bien son rôle et du coup, ça se comprend. Mais le thème est fou, hein, franchement. Le fait de mentir jusqu'au moment où t'oublies. Enfin, c'est même pas t'oublies, c'est au moment où tu te perds dedans, en fait. Tu te perds dans le mensonge et genre mentir tous les jours pendant 500 ans jusqu'à devenir dingue. Rencontrer 20 générations différentes de personnes et leur dire la même chose et tout. Et rester seule dans le mensonge et dans la seule à savoir la vérité, ça rend dingue. Franchement, je trouve le thème génial. Le perso de Furina est trop bien fait. Franchement, j'aime beaucoup tout ce qui tournait autour et tout. Et j'avoue que je me suis fait avoir comme une débile, hein, pour le coup. Totalement, ouais. Je me suis totalement fait avoir comme une débile. J'avoue que... Non mais l'oratrice. Mais elle était devant moi. Elle était devant moi depuis le début. Hein. Mais je sais pas, est-ce qu'il n'y a pas un moment où je me suis dit que la machine c'était l'archon? J'en sais rien. Après la baleine était seule. Je sais pas, je me dis de base, c'est tous des animaux dans la flotte. C'est tous des océanides. Est-ce qu'il n'y a pas un monde où en fait la déesse c'est la grosse baleine? Va savoir. Non, c'est pas fini, c'est pas fini. C'est juste que là, les grosses cinématiques sont terminées, je pense. Là, c'est vraiment la fin en mode oui, va parler. Hein. Mais oui, l'eau. Mais oui, Neuvy, on aime l'eau ici, bien sûr. Ça suffit. Où est la quête? Le final. Rendez-vous au village de Poissons. C'était là. Évidemment. Évidemment. Tu vois, quand t'as fait l'acte 1, les modos ont câblé parce que quelqu'un a leak tout ça et j'ai malheureusement vu le message. Oh, il y a vraiment un mec qui a leak tout ça en mode que Furina, c'était en fait pas la vraie Archon, qu'elle jouait un rôle parce que l'oratrice lui avait... Oh, ça vient de là, le câblage des copains. Ah là là. Vous avez noté le pseudo? Que je le banne de partout? Le mec a refait des comptes pour revenir? Ah ouais? Ah, donc c'était vraiment un mec qui était là pour abattre, quoi. Oh, les enflures! La personne est revenue pour dire la même chose juste parce qu'il était mauvais? Oh. Ah, tu sais ça, bah tout Fontaine est niqué, ouais, effectivement. Hein. Il y a vraiment des mecs, leur vie, elle est tellement triste. Imagine... créer des comptes Twitch en boucle pour spoil des gens d'un jeu vidéo. Oh, non, mais il y en a vos vies, mais franchement, ça fait tellement pitié. Le pauvre mec, mais imagine comment il doit rien foutre de sa vie. Oh là là. Ah bah ouais, bah je comprends, du coup, Justine, trop chiant. Honte à lui, hein. Ah mais ça, c'est forcément un mec sans taf qui n'a jamais touché une femme, ce genre de choses, quoi. No offense! No offense! Mais voilà quoi. if I speak, ce genre de personne, voilà quoi. No offense, mais il doit pas avoir grand chose à faire de sa vie. Hein. Ah là. Ouais, du coup, franchement, j'ai bien slalomé entre les spoils. À part du coup 2-3 idiots qui ont voulu essayer. Je pense que pour l'immense majorité, il y a eu des spoils non volontaires vite fait, mais du coup, on n'a toujours pas fini. On n'a toujours pas fini. Non, totalement. De toute façon, j'avais dit, hein, je pensais jusqu'à à peu près 18h. Ça fait 7 heures de live. Oui, ça va, tranquille. Non, en fait. La balle était perdue, pardon. Après, est-ce que j'ai tort? Bah, je pense que j'ai pas tort. Il est où le... Il y a un... Il doit être au-dessus. Ah non, il est en dessous. Ah, il est là. Est-ce que je peux... descendre... Attendez. Non, parce que c'est bien de terminer la quête exceptionnelle et tout, incroyable. Wow, Furina, mais l'hydroculu est important. Hop là. Je suis un moustique. Il y a de la lumière. Ah là là. Dans quelques jours, il y a le rite des lanternes. Est-ce que tu le feras en stream? Très certainement, oui. Très certainement. C'est l'event de jongler en plus, ça. C'est totalement l'event de jongler. Oui. De toute façon, on a encore pas mal de choses à faire sur Genshin. Oh, ça veut dire qu'on va dire au revoir à Fontaine? Ça veut dire qu'on a... Non. Non, il y a un intermède, c'est ça? Vous allez me dire qu'il y a un intermède. J'allais dire, oh, let's go, Natland! Non. Intermède. C'est pas que j'aime pas les intermèdes. Mais je suis pas fan des intermèdes. C'est pas que j'aime pas Dainsleaf. Mais Seigneur, qu'est-ce qu'il débite! Oh, il parle, et vas-y, que ça parle beaucoup. Ah là là, les quêtes d'histoire de Fontaine sont bangers? Ok. Ah, faudra que vous me fassiez une liste desquelles sont vraiment bien, du coup. Il est court, et c'est une dinguerie. L'intermède, ok. Ok, je trust, parce que quand Dainsleaf est là, c'est... Ah, et puis il y a les quêtes de persos aussi, je veux faire tous les persos. Ils ont tous des... Attendez, on voit après. On voit après.
What brings you all here? Hey, we're just having a look around. I'm here to update myself on how things are going here. Oh, the Fatui are here too. Let me introduce you. This is Mr. Garunt Snežević.
Ah oui, tout ça, ouais.
He represented the Knave in sending us a large amount of supplies, and is helping with our work. Our residents are hard at work as well. Thanks to everyone, work is progressing nicely. We've lost a lot of people, but we're moving forward. That will have to be enough.
Hello, Miss Charlotte. I'm a big fan of yours. I especially like that article you wrote last year about Fontaine's stray cats.
Oh, bichon. Il est trop mimes.
But if you don't mind, could you not emphasize our role too much in your report? It's not charity we're doing here. We just happen to share the same interests as the Spina.
I get where you're coming from. I'll keep it as simple as possible. Or would you be willing to feature as friendly neighbors?
That would be fine. Thanks.
Oh, you're back too. How are things?
We finished laying down the construction materials. It'll be another hour before the workers are able to go over there.
Huh? You're here too, Clarence?
Mais bien sûr qu'elle est là.
Well, her reputation's greatly risen after that whole duel business with Miss Furina. So she's here in Poisson to wait out the heat.
Non, elle est là pour toi, Navia.
She really came here to help me out.
Évidemment qu'elle est là pour
There's too
toi.
much to consider in the reconstruction of Poisson. The Spina has need of more decision makers.
Ils sont souvent ensemble quand même, c'est fou, hein.
Well, I do already happen to be connected to Mr. Callis.
Oh, wait just a moment. Do you mind me asking a few questions? You know, about how you felt before the duel, about what it was like facing down a god. There's lots of exciting material there, I bet.
Forget it. I'm sure you can find a better theme than that, Miss Charlotte.
I see
Denied.
the same as always. Couldn't you do me a favor, for Navia's sake?
Ah,
Well, if we're talking about doing things for my sake, You might as well just take a few more photos of me. Or of the traveler.
Non.
It's better than wasting time persuading Chlorand at any rate.
Of course I will. I'm not gonna let her off that easy. All right, then everyone who wants to be in the photo, gather up. And smile.
Mais ils sont trop mimes.
How did it go? Was it a good shot? Did Paimon look cute in it?
Not bad. Your addition really helped the composition of the picture.
Oui,
All
bien
right,
sûr.
hang on a moment.
La
Let me snap a
composition
few more
photographique, grâce à Paimon. Prends quelques photos supplémentaires du village de poissons, interroge rapidement quelques
shots. All right,
résidents.
that should do it. I'll be back here later anyway, so let's call it a day.
You're very quick.
Speed is of the essence when it comes to the news, and freshness is the key.
Wow.
Also, not to brag, but I'm pretty good at building connections. Who knows? I might eventually get that interview with you after all, Miss Chlorand.
Wow, you really do have that never say die spirit. I'm impressed.
I'll hazard a guess that this is how you got that interview at the Fortress of Méropide.
Vous étiez déjà au courant?
Whoa, you're well informed. Let me make a guess too. I asked Sijuin, who told Monsieur Neuvillette, and he told you, right?
Visiblement.
That's a very complete information chain.
C'est vrai, ça.
In truth, all Monsieur Neuvillette asked me was, when did the fortress become so friendly towards the media? I told him that it was best not to speak too soon. There's no guarantee that Ridsley will make a personal appearance.
You're right. I've got to treasure every moment I have with them. In which case, I'll be making a move first.
Stay safe now. And tell me if you hear anything interesting. I'll treat you to afternoon tea in exchange.
Ok. On a parlé à Navia et Chlorinde, qui sont bien ensemble du coup. Elles s'entendent bien. Et on va parler à Rio. Attends, j'ai... Non, il n'y a pas d'autre TP, il n'y a vraiment que celui-là. Superbe. Ah! Fallait leur parler. Oups. Mes excuses. J'ai pas... D'habitude, je le fais en plus, mais là, j'ai pas percuté. Comme c'était pas la fin de la quête, je savais pas qu'il fallait leur poser des questions. Je l'ai fait juste avant, en plus, avec Neuvy. Non. Si. Elles flirtaient ensemble, en plus? Mais non.
Wow.
J'en
Guess
étais
we're here
sûre.
again, huh? There's a real nostalgic feeling to this place.
Non,
Looks like you've
pas
been
du tout,
missing
non.
us.
Duke, did you come all the way to the entrance to greet us?
Pas du tout.
Of course. I'm here to welcome you and our dear Miss Charlotte, whom our good head nurse recommended to me.
It's an honor to finally meet the much-rumored Duke. Thank you for consenting to my visit to the fortress, sir.
No need to thank me. But that said, I shouldn't be the focus of your interview. I trust you recall our agreement?
Of course, of course.
All right then, this way.
Oh, l'angoisse. Ah, ils sont ravis d'être pris en photo. Superbe.
Hey, no need to be so nervous. I've already taken all the photos we need. Miss Charlotte, do these pictures really need to be published on the cover of the Steambird?
It would seem that Miss Lorvine doesn't want her face to appear beside that of Mr. Jurier.
Oh là là, ils sont
Sir,
lourds
please
là.
don't say things like that.
But it looks like dear Mr. Jurier denies it. Might this interview be very important to you then?
No, I just... This is my first time being interviewed, and I'm very thankful to the Steambird for...
Oui.
Now, I might not look it, but I actually did meet Mr. Edwin once. And I'll be honest, I enjoyed chatting with you more. You've definitely got more of that genius vibe going on. The boat that brought about a miracle, the ark that saved the people. Why, you recreated a myth back there, like an emissary of legend. Still, if I might ask, where's that flying ship now?
Huh. Looks like Charlotte's trying to get herself another exclusive scoop.
Logique.
I have to apologize, but that ship is presently in the bowels of our factory. I'm afraid it won't be easy for you to get a shot of it.
Really? Well, then in that case, could I have an interview with you to make up for that loss?
Elle sait comment saisir une opportunité. Pas mal, pas mal.
You already know my answer, I'm afraid. Best you interview our head nurse instead. Or perhaps you'd like to take another photo of this couple of researchers?
Oh, le nom.
Did you really have to use the word couple? Well, then, 2 solo photos will do.
Is my hair messed up? Please, someone help me have a look.
Things sure are getting pretty lively here. We've seen this kind of thing before. Oh, seems like everyone's here. Would any of you like to try this new drink I came up with?
Ah, Sigeween.
Hey, Miss Charlotte. Why don't you, take some pretty photos of our head nurse?
Oui, bien sûr. Ouais.
Sure. Come on, Miss Sigeween. Over this way. Let's find a brighter spot.
Elle est trop mimes.
Sure. Do I have to smile? So, how have things been at the fortress?
Comment est la zonze? Toujours bien? Rio.
Same old, as you can see.
Same old,
Fontaine's
same
undergone
old.
some changes, but this place is still more or less the same.
Logique.
Other than that flying ship, it got a tad too much attention, I think.
That's why I decided to let the interview go through. We should direct more public opinions toward the behind-the-scenes heroes. Am I right, Mr. Jurrier? Miss Lurvine?
You're too kind, sir. I believe that you too should have your day in the sun. Not that you would want that, which is a pity.
I'll just leave the spotlight to you two.
Il aime pas les spotlights, lui. Ouais. Marchez avec Rio et vous l'informez de la situation à la surface.
I see. Lots of things happened that day, huh? Anyway, regarding that Harbinger, I'm not sure you remember, but his 3 young followers are still waiting for his return.
Lenny, Lynette et Furina.
Huh?
I'll tell them that there's good news and bad news. The good being that their boss seems fine, and the bad being that they must face extended sentences for abetting his escape.
Dommage.
Oh, actually, what about you? Are things gonna change for you too?
What change can there be? The fortress will keep chugging along, and so will my duties.
Ah non, les
As
fidèles
to
de
what
Tarta,
Miss
ok.
Furina's departure will mean
Okay,
for the
okay.
nation, and if our laws and governance will be transformed, we'll leave those to the folks in the overworld.
Hey everyone, the photo shoot's done.
Good. In that case, let's call it a day here.
Thanks for your cooperation. Come on, Traveler, let's go. Till next time, everyone.
There'll be a next time?
Maybe. Who knows? I might write a story about the underwater factory next time. Until then.
Il avait l'air ravi. Ah, il y aura une autre fois.
Last stop, the docks.
Elle va revenir. La journaliste chelou. Ok, cette fois-ci, je leur parle.
Oh, you know, I'd love to see you in one of Charlotte's photo shoots one day.
Is that really necessary? Our line of work doesn't really require much photographing.
It's precisely because we don't need the picture that they'll have value as keepsakes. You don't really look all that opposed to the idea, you know.
Maybe I'm just happy that I managed to once again avoid the spotlight. I think this interview went well either way.
Yes, you successfully kept prying eyes away by using Mr. Jurrier and Miss Lurvine as shields. Very good.
You should be happy for them.
La
They
musique
have
de
a
la
bright
prison.
future ahead of them.
Le Vietnam. Le Vietnam. Barrons-nous d'ici. Ça suffit. Quoi? Attends, quoi? Tout ça? Tout là? Là? Ok. Ah oui. Le final. Et bah... Ah non, la musique de la prison, je peux pas. Par contre, les 2 musiques qu'il y avait pendant le fight de la baleine, il me les faut. Elle est où la... statue des 7? Elle est là. Ah bah de toute façon, on était full heal avec le truc de la baleine. Est-ce que je vais tomber à cause de la cinématique? C'est probable. La prison, notre trauma à tous. Après, ils ont bien fait la prison, hein. On n'a pas envie d'y retourner.
I didn't see them! They really are here! How did you know?
Je veux bien, Yona, ouais. Avec plaisir.
Navia mentioned that she stayed in touch with
Je
Lily
veux
and the
bien la
others after
musique.
working together. Apparently, they've been at the docks distributing these strange pockets the whole time since.
Traveler, Paimon. Ah, and Miss Charlotte, too. Would you like a magic pocket?
What sort of gadget is it?
It's a wondrous bag that can be used to carry many things. The water level has returned to normal, but if you see any of your things floating around, you can use this to carry them. Or you could trick a friend into doing it for you.
Trick a friend? I wonder which of my friends would fall for that.
You could just make a friend like Frozencrystal here. Isn't that right, Frozencrystal?
Ah.
Is this what you meant by I'll help you make some more friends?
Oh, le social.
To be honest, that sounds pretty sweet. Could I have your contact, please?
Sure. Please, write down my address.
Ah, il est trop timide. Il me fatigue.
He was the one who proposed doing this. He even wants to assist in our magic shows.
Waouh. Pas mal.
Yes, I was planning to first introduce Pear as an assistant, and later Frozencrystal himself. In the future, I think we can leave underwater escape magic to him too.
Ça va vite l'adresse directe, ouais, j'avoue.
Would
Ouais.
anyone want to see a diver escape underwater?
Oh, it'll work out. Every journey begins with the first step. He'll become a part of our show eventually.
Lynette, could you come over? Miss Charlotte says she wants to take a picture of us.
Got it.
My, that Charlotte is rather perceptive. She got rid of everyone the moment she realized I had something to say to you. So, how have things been, traveler?
Ça va. Point.
Father says that you
On a
did a
sauvé
great
le monde,
deal
mais ça
during
va.
the latest
Point.
events. She's very grateful for your contributions to Fontaine.
That's all right. We were more than happy to help. So, what's she doing now?
Elle est retournée là-bas. Enfin, à Chnesnaya, j'imagine.
Oh, I guess you haven't heard. Well, after Lady Furina left, Father and Monsieur Neuvillette opened negotiations, during which he gave Fontaine's Gnosis to her as a diplomatic gift.
Mais il faut qu'ils arrêtent de leur donner tout, là. Ils ont tous les Gnosis.
A gnosis?
Mais...
Yes, I was quite surprised at first myself. But when I thought it over, there were actually a number of things going for it.
Ouais, enfin...
It could have been done as an apology for the incident with Lord Child, or as thanks for his help in tying the all-devouring narwhal down. Furthermore, Father did also lend significant aid to Fontaine and Poisson.
That's true, but this is a gnosis we're talking about. Doesn't this seem a bit irresponsible?
Mais surtout qu'ils les cherchent
I
tous.
would agree,
Ils les ont tous,
but
il leur en
I've
manque
also
un.
heard that it seems that Monsieur Neuvillette has had a significant change of heart regarding the matter.
Sans blague.
So there's some reason for this that only Neuvillette knows about?
I suspect you'll have to ask him about that yourself. Ah, yes, speaking of which, I did see him strolling around the entrance to the Fortress of Méropide a while back.
Isn't he real busy and stuff? Paimon didn't think he'd have the time for that. But back to the topic. The Gnosis was given to the knave, right? What about Child?
They say that he's returned to Snezhnaya to recover from his wounds. I hear that the recent disaster really did a number on his health.
Je suppose que je peux le qualifier de compagnon d'armes maintenant. Il sera content.
That's true. When you think about it, we've had loads of run-ins with the Fatui. To think we'd be allied with them this time.
Oui, mais ils sont quand même en train de...
by such a simple switching of sides?
Bonsoir. La narratrice? Ah non, ok. J'avais pas reconnu sa voix.
Father!
The Knave.
Well, what do you know? Come to the docks to see how my children are doing and meet the traveler by chance. Please do not pay my accomplishments in Fontaine too much mind. I would have done them regardless.
Are you going to take the Gnosis back to Snezhnaya?
Qu'est-ce que vous allez faire avec les
That
6
is our
Gnosis?
duty as harbingers, yes.
Il vous en manque
Don't
plus
be
qu'un.
too preoccupied with sides. The goal of the Fatui concerns not a single place or person, but the entire world. With such a grand goal in mind, it is inevitable that we must wear many masks. Switching my masks is something I've always done.
Vous changerez pas de position?
Well, that depends on many things. No one truly knows what the future holds. What good is honesty if you can't rely on it forever?
Waouh! Pas mal. Pas mal les
As for
citations.
you, I very much look forward to our next collaboration. Good things cannot be achieved alone, and you've proved yourselves to be great partners.
Ça, je suis pas d'accord, par contre. Les grandes choses ne peuvent pas être accomplies par une seule personne. Si. Pas trop d'accord. Ça dépend du contexte. En fait, pourriez-nous nous aider à remettre ceci? Oui, c'est vrai, c'est l'œil divin de Tarta.
A vision? All right. I'll remember to return it. Thank you for keeping it safe for him this entire time.
And that's a wrap for me. Huh?
Ah non.
You...
Non, elles vont pas s'entendre, elles.
Greetings, Miss Journalist.
Hello. If I'm not mistaken, there are diplomatic channels I'll need to report to take a photo of you.
Dommage.
That is correct. So forgive me, but I will not be able to serve as a subject in your article. However, feel free to write as much as you'd like about our dear magicians and our upcoming rookie talent.
I will.
The sea breeze is quite pleasant. I shall continue my walk while the weather remains so agreeable. Farewell.
Farewell, Father.
Oh, she has such an intimidating presence.
Bon bah, au
I
revoir.
didn't even dare to take a picture. Thankfully, I've already wrapped up all my pre-scheduled interviews. Thank you all. This'll be more than enough for me to write about, I'm sure.
Don't be too nervous. Why don't you take a magic pocket before you go? Here, Traveler, Paimon, you take one too.
To
Ouais.
move things about?
That's
Si ça
right.
t'amuse.
Funny. I was giving out magic pockets when we first met too.
Je me souviens, ouais.
What do you know? I'm doing the exact same thing right now. So many things have happened, but the pockets are still the pockets. I guess this must be life. We will all follow our own paths.
Waouh.
And serendipity will lead you to your fated friends.
C'est ça la vie, le destin,
We'll be
les
handing out
pochettes,
pockets in
évidemment.
some other districts later,
Évidemment.
so we'll get going now. Have a good day, you two.
Pas mal.
Well, guess we sent Charlotte off. Shall we go see what Neuvillette's doing? As long as he's not so busy that he doesn't have time to chat anyway.
Et le dernier... Bah non, attends, il nous manque Furina en vrai en plus. Il nous manque Furina... Attends, non, il est dans le théâtre. Enfin, dans l'opéra, je sais pas pourquoi j'appelle ça un théâtre à chaque fois. Mais oui. Il nous manque Neuvillette et Furina qui du coup va bien. Ah ouais. Est-ce que je vous ai déjà parlé de la symétrie de l'architecture? Ah ici, franchement, c'est vraiment le paroxysme de la symétrie, là. Tu peux pas faire mieux. Tu ne peux pas faire mieux que cet endroit. Merci Missa pour le 2e mois. Merci beaucoup. Elles font toutes les heures. Et je l'avais pas dit, de toute la quête de l'acte 5, il n'y a pas eu d'endroit symétrique. Et même les jets d'eau. Non mais là c'est vraiment l'endroit de la symétrie, hein. Cet opéra. Il y a beaucoup d'endroits à Fontaine qui sont symétriques, mais l'opéra... L'opéra est pas mal du tout. Mhm. Alors... Cherchons Neuvillette. Alors que je suis lui-même. Le pic de la symétrie. Et peut-être qu'il y a mieux, hein. Mais... Il est en haut. Il n'est pas là. Pardon. Il était dehors. My bad. C'est vrai. C'est vrai. Est-ce que ça fait 2 fois que je me fais avoir par le même truc? Oui. Oui. La première fois que je suis allée à la forteresse, c'était la même erreur. La même. Du même endroit. Mais tout va bien.
going to have free time this hour of the day.
Really? Oh, I suppose you must have met Mr. Linney. He took the time to greet me earlier when he passed this way. In any case, you came at a good time. I was just considering reaching out to you to set up a meeting, so I may explain some things that I haven't had the time to before.
Aw, Paimon's glad that you remembered. Thank you for keeping us on your mind, what with you being busy and all. Alright, let's have it then. How was Fontaine actually saved? The whole business is still quite the mystery to us.
Bah, du coup, on l'a vu en fait, y'a pas besoin.
It is strange how words can often leave a bitter taste in the mouth when it finally comes time to say them out loud.
C'est vrai. Il soupire doucement avant de vous dire la vérité sur ce qu'il a vu ce jour-là. Fosseler a trompé l'ordre divin et utilisé l'interminable performance de Furina pour sauver Fontaine.
So that's what happened?
Je connaissais que la partie concernant Furina.
Fosseler destroyed the divine throne of the Hydro Archon and restored your power to you, transforming you into a fully fledged elemental dragon sovereign. But Paimon still doesn't quite get what you did to save the Fontainians from dissolving.
For me, the authority of the ancient dragons refers to absolute control over the hydro element. Fontainians were incomplete humans born of Egeria's use of the power of the primordial sea, with constitutions similar to that of mimics. But so long as those primordial energies remain within them, I could use the ancient dragon's authority to grant them true blood, after the fashion in which life was first brought into being on this planet. In other words, when I gave my verdict, Fontainians became true humans, and thus would naturally no longer be dissolved by water from the primordial sea.
Fosseler must have counted on you to make that decision as well. Your verdict was the key to making the prophecy appear to have come true while saving everyone.
On pourrait donc dire que c'est à ce moment-là que les Fontainois sont vraiment nés.
Yeah, and in a manner of speaking, Fosseler finally managed to fulfill the original Hydro Archon's wish to turn Oceanids into real people too!
It seems from your expressions that you still have more things you wish to ask.
Oh, on en a des questions, ouais. Oui, y en a.
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Ah, mais dis-nous tout, Neuvy. À propos du premier verdict prononcé pour Partage. Oui, pourquoi est-ce qu'il était guilty, du coup?
I have investigated his case along many avenues, and I have learned that he once fell into an unknown chasm when he was young. There, by chance, he awakened the all-devouring narwhal. But whether it
Comment
be by
tu
sentiment
tombes
or
dans un
reason,
abîme
that should
inconnu
not have
en
been
étant
enough to
jeune?
consider him the root cause of the disaster. At most, he would have had tangential liability.
Bah oui, non mais ils en font des choses, les enfants, dans ce jeu. Hein. Ça découvre des ruines, ça tombe dans des abîmes. Bah oui. Bien sûr. T'as fait quoi quand t'étais jeune? Non, je suis tombée dans un abîme inconnu et j'ai réveillé une baleine cosmique. Bah oui, évidemment, normal, tous les jours. Bien sûr. Non, mais ça paraît logique. Que ce soit par le sentiment ou par la raison, cela n'aurait pas dû suffire à le considérer comme la cause principale de la catastrophe. Sa responsabilité fut tout au plus indirecte. Ah mais quand même, t'es tombé dans un trou, t'as réveillé une baleine, tu es donc guilty, tu vas en prison.
As for the judgment passed by the oratrice
Oui.
during the trial, whether it was due to that liability by association or Fosseler deliberately using him to buy time for us on the assumption that he would be able to hold the creature off, I cannot say.
Ah, ouais, vu comme ça, ouais.
Fontainians in mind the whole time. In the end, it was thanks to her that they finally became real humans. Hang on a second. Paimon suddenly got another question. Back when Fontainians hadn't yet become real humans, were the children they had also transformed Oceanids?
Bah oui.
Life has always flowed like water. Do you recall how Fontainians would often come to the Fountain of Lucine to pray for children?
Yeah, Lynette said the fountain is where all the waters in Fontaine converge.
In truth, even those couples did not know that such prayers were no mere custom, but instead a form of ritual. Those Oceanids who were blessed within the spring water would later descend as new humans in the coming months.
Paimon sorta gets it now. Either way, seems like this ritual won't be of any further use, but it'll probably live on as a local custom.
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
À propos de l'avenir de Fontaine... Ouais, du coup, donc ça paraissait logique. En sachant que la déesse était dans l'oratrice, elle s'est dit ok, lui il va pouvoir combattre la baleine. On va l'envoyer là-bas, ouais. À propos de l'avenir de Fontaine. Quoi? Attends, j'ai pas entendu ça.
Lady Furina. The people are only aware that her death sentence has not been carried out. She abdicated the post of Hydro Archon and left affairs related to that title to me, before leaving the Opera House. I related Focalor's words to her faithfully and completely. After hearing them, she seemed neither saddened nor comforted. She simply said that she was tired and needed to rest.
Logique.
Having said that, she then packed her things and moved out of the Opera House, not unlike how an ordinary person might.
But she's still got a place to stay, right?
You need not worry. I will make arrangements to ensure that she will not want for food, clothing, board, or travel. In truth, I am somewhat happy for her. The wear and tear on her spirit will, of course, take time to heal.
Prendre un moment, ouais.
But now that she no longer has to play the role of Focalor the Hydro Archon, she can finally lay down her burdens and
Mais du
lead
coup,
a
ils
normal
ont
life.
rien à voir l'un avec l'autre. Ils sont pas de la même famille. Alors que vraiment, ils se ressemblent de
After
ouf.
Focalor passed on, the Oratrice also ceased to function. This matter will directly affect our trials. After much careful consideration, I've decided to take over its role in our courts. From now on, I shall hear cases and pass verdicts by myself.
Looks like you're still considering stuff from the perspective of the Udex, huh?
As an elemental dragon, there are indeed many things that I must do. But this power and this duty, in a manner of speaking, you could say that both were granted to me. As such, before I attend to my other responsibilities, I must first and foremost continue to serve Fontaine as its highest judge. The duty of the Hydro Sovereign and the duty of the Udex shall coexist within my person. Additionally, the Hydro Archon's departure has brought about another problem, which is that the Opera House shall no longer produce indemnitium.
That's true. That power was derived from the people's faith in the Hydro Archon, wasn't it? Wait, but the various mechs and machines in the city are all still okay. Where are they getting their energy from?
As I am now, I have full command over New Musia, and it can serve as a complete substitute.
La quoi?
Another reason why I cannot quite leave Fontaine immediately.
D'accord.
This ancient dragon's authority stuff is really quite useful, huh?
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Pourquoi est-ce que t'as donné le truc le plus important à la meuf qui essaye de tous les récupérer depuis le début du jeu?
Oh, that's right! They say you've given it to the knave as a diplomatic gift or something!
Leaving aside their intentionality, the two Fatui Harbingers have indeed done much for us during this crisis. Their sole remaining goal in Fontaine, at least at this point, would seem to be the Gnosis. The Oratrice has ceased to function. The Hydro Archon's divine throne is now no more, and I do not need the Gnosis's power. As such, it has lost all meaning for Fontaine. If the Fatui have impure designs, then we might as well accede to their request now, and avoid unnecessary conflict.
C'est vrai que dit comme ça, il a pas tort. Il a pas tort.
Giving it to them out of gratitude to the knave and as an apology to Child.
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Dans le fond, il a pas tort. Donner un truc maintenant ou faire la guerre, perdre et donner le truc. Après, tu peux faire la guerre, gagner, et du coup, ils l'ont pas. Mais du coup, ça continuera, ouais. Surtout qu'on sait pas ce qu'ils veulent faire avec. Il en a aucune utilité, ouais, il a pas tort, je peux comprendre. À propos de la prochaine étape de mon voyage, OMG, Natlan.
You will soon be heading to Natlan, I presume.
Oh,
I'm afraid
Seigneur.
that I have little talent as a travel guide, so all I can do is tell you what I know about that land. As far as I'm aware, Natlan can be said to be a nation of dragons.
Ah bon?
A nation of dragons? You mean like you?
No, I suspect that I would not find myself welcome there.
Ah,
unlike ancient dragons such as myself, the dragons of Natlan have undergone long years of development and evolution.
OMG.
Large numbers of them have entered a form of coexistence with humanity. Natlan is also the nation of war. War ravages those lands like an undying flame. There is one other piece of information I got incidentally from my negotiations with the knave that I believe may be useful to you. The harbinger known as the Captain has thrown his hat into the endless ring
The
of
Captain.
war.
The captain. Sounds like a real tough customer. Seriously,
C'est qui lui encore? Jamais entendu son nom.
I suggest that you fully prepare yourself before going to Natlan. In the meantime, Fontaine's doors will always be open to you. Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Eh bah, je n'ai plus d'autres questions, Neuvy. C'est terminé. C'est terminé.
Hang on a sec. Paimon's still got a question about the Gnosis. When we spoke to Linny earlier, he mentioned that your attitude towards giving away the Gnosis had clearly changed. We guessed that there might be some reason for it that only you were aware of.
C'est vrai ça, c'est vrai.
No wonder the House of the Hearth is the Fatui's intelligence division. They are certainly sharp. So regarding this specific issue, I was just getting ready to share something with you.
What is it?
In truth, I exchanged some further words with that lady named Skirk after sending you two back to the surface.
Tell me more.
It went something like this.
Montrez-la-moi de nouveau, elle est si belle. Montrez-la-moi. Non, on n'a pas le droit. Ceci est un chargement.
We're going to head topside to see what's going on. You hurry over soon as well, all right, Neuvillette?
What next?
Il nous attège
The
comme ça.
all-devouring narwhal isn't here.
Oh ma déesse.
So I'm no longer getting any interference. I can finally catch the scent of your power, what it's made of. It is the authority of the planet's primordial dragons, but with something very similar to a god's curse mixed in. It's quite a novel blend. I'm sure I've encountered something like this before. What was it again?
I do not know what you speak of.
Ah, of course. How could I forget? You should have the remains of the third descender on your person, yes?
Remains? I've never heard of any such thing.
Remains?
According to your parlance, I believe it may be called a Gnosis.
Well, that much is true. After Focalor's divinity faded, she handed her Gnosis to me. But I fear I have never heard of it described in the manner that you just did.
I've been training with my master, the Fowl, ever since I was young, and I have never returned to the surface since. So most of the information I possess, I got from him.
Okay.
It is only natural for those who are greater than humanity to possess a different sort of common sense, which is why there are so many problems in our attempts to communicate with humans. Regardless, you should probably get rid of objects of misfortune to prevent any disasters from befalling you. To live in itself is a blessing. But once a person dies, the bonds he once had with this world shall all turn to curses.
What do you mean by that?
No need to fret. These are just my personal thoughts, and my reason for no longer wishing to return to the surface.
This third descender you refer to, who are they? And when did they die?
Master never mentioned them to me. Perhaps it just wasn't that important for me to know. If you're interested, though, I could ask him. I'll be sure to pass the answer on to you next time.
Next time? You believe we will meet again?
I do. Wait. I have a disciple of my own, don't I? He can be the messenger then.
Comment elle l'utilise. Elle est trop belle. J'ai pas tout compris au lore. Il y a beaucoup de lore drop là.
That's what she told me. Whether it would prove useful or not, I wanted to pass that information on to you.
The remains of the third descender? So that's what the Gnosis actually are. Paimon just thought they looked like chess pieces. How could they be a person's remains?
Comment ça,
All
des
the
pièces
same,
de jeu
assuming
d'essai?
that there was no misunderstanding or special metaphor at play, that is what she meant to say.
And she said that it would bring misfortune and that you should check it, which is why you gave it to the Fatui.
If she speaks the truth, then I would simply be putting Fontaine at unnecessary risk by keeping it here.
Ouais. Un descendeur. Elle en a mentionné un. Je suis la 4e descendeuse. Quoi? Attends, pour moi ça veut dire deux choses. Ouais, non, mais le terme, je l'avais pas. Pour moi, ça veut dire deux choses. D'une part que le Gnosis est lié au descendeur et d'autre part que mon prédécesseur est décédé. Superbe. Grosse ambiance. Nous, on est la 4e descendante.
I
Ouais.
guessed that
Naïda
you
nous
might
l'a dit,
already
ouais.
be familiar
Ouais.
with this concept, but I did
J'ai
not
oublié, moi j'ai
expect
fait
you
le
to
tour
be
du
one of
bocal.
them.
Hein.
That means that the Gnosis, which are exceedingly element compatible and can even enhance elemental abilities, do indeed come from the third descender.
Ok.
I wonder, does your body also possess similar properties?
Oh bah me dis c'est pas.
Like being able to use elemental powers without a vision. That does sort of count as special compatibility, right? No, let's not think about this stuff right now. It just feels
Il y a beaucoup de l'or. Ouais.
comparing the traveler to the dead third descender and all.
Mais non, moi je vais pas mourir.
That's what you say, but this topic still feels like bad luck.
Bien sûr. Ouais.
Once Child recovers, let's get some more answers out of him. Or go look for his master and get the answers that way.
I too believe it unwise to make too many blind guesses when information is lacking. The same is true of being at court.
C'est vrai. Merci Filming pour les 16 mois, merci
Like the
beaucoup.
crisis here in Fontaine's over for now.
Yes. All of Focalor's efforts were for this moment as well.
But she sacrificed herself in the end as a god, and she suffered through all those years as a human. Was that really what she wanted?
I suppose that would be the mystery of a god's will.
J'ai l'idée de conseiller qui va de début jusqu'au fin Fontaine pour avoir le principal. Ça parle aussi d'Enconomia qui compte beaucoup. Ouais, c'est vrai, il y a Enconomia que j'ai pas fait. C'est vrai. Faudrait peut-être que je la fasse. Parce que apparemment c'est l'or heavy. Et peut-être que là, sans être passé par Enconomia, là j'ai des infos qui ne passent pas, ouais. Ouais. Pareil, pas fait non plus. Ouais, effectivement, ouais. Ouais. Du coup, comprenez-vous la volonté
I
divine?
suspect not. But once in a while, I too would guess that if wishes were like the clouds in the sky, they will one day return to the earth as raindrops. Life flows like water, and rain is the final answer. The water levels may sometimes tilt one way or another, but the rain falls fairly upon all.
Waouh!
And what ultimately
Neuvillette.
is the difference between the rains that fall upon all of us?
Quel homme. Oh là là! OMG! On a terminé! On a fini Fontaine! Oh là là! Le chapitre 5! Combien d'heures? 7h47 de live, ça va! Large! C'était cool! C'était cool! Ouais, bah ouais, exceptionnel, hein. Ah, il pleut! Ouais, j'avoue que Absolute Cinéma, 7h45, 45 minutes de gameplay, ça correspond. Le film a duré 5 heures. Non mais franchement, j'avoue, j'avais vachement peur d'avoir été overhype parce que vous m'avez vendu ça comme si c'était genre Harry Potter quoi. Vraiment, vous me l'avez vendu comme si c'était le peak content. Et ouais, non, franchement, pas mal du tout. J'ai adoré. Le début du chapitre était long à partir. Genre, la première heure avant que j'aille manger, c'était un peu long à partir, mais dès que c'est parti, c'est parti. Hein. Dès que c'est parti, ça ne s'arrêtait plus. Mélous. Ah là là.
Water comes in many flavors to the discerning palate.
Oui, l'eau, bien sûr.